Good morning, Panthers. Thank you. All right, I have to say before I start, Braden River Middle School students, staff, and teachers, I am so proud of you. Thank you for coming out in an orderly fashion, and you guys look really good in your red, white, and blue. Thank you so much. All right. To our guests, good morning. I am Mrs. Zenon Richardson, proud principal, and it is with great pleasure that I welcome you to Braden River Middle School, the home of the Panthers, where we believe and achieve, and to this most prestigious event where we get to honor and recognize veterans among us for their ultimate sacrifice of time, talents, family, and sometimes their quality of life, just to maintain our freedom. If you currently serve or have served in the armed forces of the United States of America, please stand. Thank you. You may be seated. You are our nation's heroes, and we thank you for being here today. I would like to share a poem with you entitled, "They Did Their Share" by Joanna Fuchs. They did their share. On Veterans Day, we honor soldiers who protect our nation. For their service as warriors, they deserve our admiration. Some of them were drafted, some were volunteers. For some, it was just yesterday. For some, it's been many years. We owe so much to them who kept us safe from terror. So when we see a uniform, let's say thank you to every wearer. Again, that's by Joanna Fuchs. Thank you again for your heroism, and enjoy the ceremony. Among our distinguished guests today, we have School District of Manatee County Board Chair, Dave Watchdog Minor. Thank you. Thank you so much for being here. Let us now stand for the raising of the flag by the Braden River High School Color Guard and the Pledge of Allegiance. Please remain standing while our advanced band, under the direction of Mr. Alejandro Guardia, plays the national anthem. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. you. You may now be seated. I would like to give our advanced band another hand for that spectacular performance. Thank you, Mr. Guardia. With us today is a very special guest, Sergeant Major Alexander Figueroa. He is a retired Command Sergeant Major and a decorated Army combat veteran. He retired from active duty in 2010 and is currently an Army instructor teaching leadership education training to 286 high school cadets and motivating them to be good stewards of the Junior Reserve Officer Training Corps, or JROTC program, as well as good citizens within our community. Sergeant Major Figueroa is also the author of Assess This, The Power of Introspection for Leaders, and a dynamic motivational speaker. Let's give Sergeant Major Figueroa a warm welcome.
Good morning. Fellow veterans, administrators, families, and Panthers of Braden River Middle School. Giving all honor and glory to God, my wife and I are humbly and honored to be here with you this morning. Mrs. Richardson, I'd like to thank you for your kind remarks and introduction, and for saying yes to Mrs. Cunningham for giving me the opportunity to speak and share in your celebration of our nation's veterans with these great Panther patriots. I also just have to give a special thank you on the professionalism of our Braden River High School JRTC Color Guard for their volunteering their time in serving for this celebration in honoring our veterans. So let's give them a hand. As usual, they look magnificent as always. And you know, it is so great to see high school students choosing an elective focus on leadership, citizenship, and character. These young cadets make me feel very optimistic about our future, especially given the challenges we face each and every day. I feel especially honored for my wife, Wilma, who is present today in celebration with all of you Panthers and the community leaders. She too, as you saw, is a veteran of the U.S. Army who retired back in 2000, 19 years ago. Don't she look good? I am truly blessed. You know, we have been blessed with 3 children, 2 daughters in the Air Force, which we are really proud of them, and our son, who is a truck driver for USA Trucking out of Arkansas. Any Arkansas fans? Well, we're proud of him as well. Oh, and I forgot one of our favorite. His name is Spirit. He's our teacup poodle who runs the Figueroa household. And if you're a pet lover, you understand what we're going through, right? So let's go down memory lane, shall we? On the 11th hour of the 11th day, 11th month, the fighting of World War I ended in 1918. To celebrate the end of this war to end all wars, November 11th became a universally recognized day of celebration. The day was originally declared Armistice Day, 8 years after the end of World War I, and honored only veterans of that war. However, in 1954, after World War II and the Korean War, it was renamed Veterans Day to honor all veterans who served America in war and defended our democracy. So today we honor all our veterans who unselfishly placed their lives on the line for our freedom. Those veterans were ordinary citizens until they heard the call of duty and answered it so proudly. They left everything behind, their families, homes, and their livelihood, for something much greater than themselves. These were Americans from all walks of life who fought to protect our country and the ideals for which it stood. So Panthers, please join me for at least 30 seconds and let's say thank you and praising those who are present with a tremendous round of applause. You know, the theme for this year is service. Veterans contribute to American society in many ways, not just during their time on active duty. Throughout our history, military service men and women have put on their uniform to protect the values and liberties that this nation was built upon. Those values and liberties have been challenged by many foes, past, present, and future. Our military service men and women have always triumphed through it all. The fabric of our red, white, and blue that steadfastly stands before us have always rallied our country in support of them and their efforts in preserving our freedoms that we at times take for granted. Service, I say to you from my experience, is not about self. What Bing.com says, and define it as, the action of helping or doing work for someone. And there's more. It's about the act of assistance, being kind to others, providing a helping hand, doing a favor to another person. My dad, who recently passed away about a year ago on the 28th of September, 2018, was a World War II and Korean War veteran. He would always say to me and my siblings was to always be kind to one another, to help each other out, and lastly, stay out of trouble. So Panthers, my charge to you is this: be kind to one another, assist and volunteer to serve right here on campus or around the community. Provide a helping hand to your classmates and teachers, meaning pick up after yourselves and clean up. Help and assist those who are having a bad day. And you all know those days. And as I close, be proud of who you are. We veterans are so proud of you. We believe in you and know that you matter to us. You are our future leaders of today. So stay engaged, share your ideas, be respectful towards others, and you will become the dynamic leaders you were created to be. Panthers, thanks again for allowing me to speak. May God bless you, our veterans, and may God bless the United States of America.
Thank you again, Sergeant Major Figueroa. That was a powerful message, and we thank you for that. Panthers, remember what he said: be kind to one another. So next we have Hope Thompson. She will recite "In Flanders Field" by Lieutenant Colonel John McCrae. Let's give her a hand.
In Flanders fields, the poppies blow. Between the crosses, row on row. that mark our place, and in the sky, the lark still bravely singing fly, scarce heard amid the guns below. We are the dead, short days ago. We lived, felt dawn, saw sunset glow, loved and were loved, and now we lie in Flanders fields. Take up our quarrel with the foe, to you from failing hands we throw. The torch be yours to hold it high, if ye break faith with us who die. We shall not sleep through poppies grow in Flanders fields.
Wow, great job, Hope. I can't believe she memorized the whole thing. That's awesome. Great job. Let's give her another hand. We will now have our 7th and 8th grade chorus sing We Honor You by Roger Emerson under the direction of Mr. Nicholas Haas. Let's give them a hand. Wow, what a wonderful, wonderful performance. Let's give them another hand. Thank you, Mr. Haas. It is a tradition at Braden River Middle School to create a mosaic each year to dedicate to our veterans and add to our wall of honor. As you can see around the campus, these mosaics beautifully decorate our campus. We now have 33 panels which hold 828 tiles, all dedicated to the veterans of our Panther family members. Some are mothers, fathers, grandparents, aunts, uncles, or even siblings, and each tile represents the love and admiration of the teachers, staff, parents, and students who are and have been in our Panther family. Mrs. Heidi Enneking and her students develop a different design each year and will now unveil this year's design. Thank you. Let's give them another hand for their hard work and dedication. What a phenomenal piece of art. Thank you to Mrs. Enneking and the following students who worked on this project: Jocelyn Diaz, Yadira Garcia, Priscilla Garza Aguilar, Ariana Moran, Natalie Rosario, Alyssa Nall, Jalea Elder, Shelby McGrew, Yesenia Cristobal Vasquez, Jackson Wilson, Anthony Hidalgo, Sam Miller, Brandy Moore, Grace Witchell, Ben Thorpe, and George Wadonis. Thank you. It is truly a beautiful addition to our collection. Andrea Mondragon will now recite The Veteran by Margaret Postgate Cole. Give her a hand as she comes.
We came upon him sitting in the sun, blinded by the war, and left. And past the fence there came young soldiers from Hand and Flower, asking advice of his experience. And he said this and that, and told them tales. And all the nightmares of each empty head blew into the air. Then hearing us beside, "Poor chaps, how they know what it's like," he said. And we stood there and watched him as he sat, turning his sockets where they went away, until it came to one of us to ask, "And you're how old?" 19 on the 3rd of May.
Thank you. Another one that's memorized the entire thing. That is awesome. Thank you so much. Well done, Andrea. And now, our advanced orchestra will play God Bless America under the direction of Nicholas Haas. Thank you. That was a remarkable performance. Thank you, Mr. Haas and our advanced orchestra. Let's give them another hand. As we close our ceremony, I want to remind our students that the most key component of the Declaration of Independence, written in 1776 by our founding fathers, states, "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain inalienable rights, that among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness." This holds true to this day, some 245 years later. We have this independence as a country, this freedom to pursue our dreams, and our rights because of those willing to fight for our freedom. Please don't take this for granted. There were major sacrifices involved in the freedom you have right now. I encourage each of you to show gratitude for those sacrifices by being your absolute best you and taking advantage of the right to pursue happiness, the right to become educated, and the right to be free. Believe you can achieve. We will end our ceremony with the playing of Taps by Naya Platt. To our veterans and other guests, please join us in the Media Center for breakfast immediately following the ceremony. Thank you, thank you, thank you, Naya. And to anyone who doesn't believe this, it takes a lot of nerves to stand in front of over 1,000 people and be able to play an instrument. She did an excellent job, and we are grateful to her. Thank you. This concludes our ceremony. Again, we thank our distinguished guests for visiting with us today. I would especially like to thank Mrs. Cunningham, who is the assistant principal in charge of the event, Mrs. Michelle McClellan, our Social Studies Department chairperson, the entire Social Studies Department, and all committee members for putting this special event together. I would like to thank all of our participants, every last one of you. You guys were amazing and you did an excellent job. I also want to thank our teachers and staff for providing the breakfast for our veterans and the guests. You guys won't find any better catering around. There was no need to get a caterer because we have some of the best cooks in town here. So you will enjoy the breakfast this morning. And I would like to thank our students for being so well behaved today. You guys were amazing. A special thanks to Southeast High School's TV production team, Braden River High School's JROTC and Sergeant Major Figueroa, MSTV, and Lowe's Home Improvement for adopting our school this year and for working diligently over the last week to ensure the courtyard was ready for this event. Let's give them a hand. Their logo is hands on, hearts in, and they really put their heart and soul into this beautification, and we thank you so much. Teachers and students, we will dismiss by building to go back to homeroom. You will wait for the bell to dismiss to first period. So we will start with buildings 2. You may return to your classroom. Followed by building 1. Building 1. We're ready for buildings 4 and 6. Buildings 4.